Well, hello, my friends. It must be Wednesday if we're talking, because we typically only talk on Wednesday here at Engagement. So my name is Doug. I go by many names: Doug the Officiant, Doug the Foodie, and sometimes I get called Reverend Ron. That's a whole other story, bro. And you have stumbled into, found, followed, whatever the case may be. You have found Engagement. Welcome. So this is episode 2 of season 6 of what we call The Good. And as you know on this show, I basically talk about whatever I want, which is a privilege, really, and an honor. I meet people that I find to be interesting. I talk about things that I find to be interesting. And sometimes it's a bit of a potpourri because we could be talking food and beverage one day, and we could be talking, men's, ladies, or health of well-being of your community. So a bit of a whiplash for some of us, but fun for me nonetheless. And that's really what matters the most, doesn't it? So today we are talking about the good. And the reason the good came about as a sort of a topic for 8 series is because of these words. Many hands make light work. Now, my aunt always said that, Aunt Chula. And I always thought, I don't know what she's talking about. But it's true. And in community, many hands make light work. So we are going to talk to someone who is very community minded, who is always at the ready to help, always ready to get her hands dirty. And that is Michelle Robbins. Yes, same last name as me. She's my cousin. And she's with BNG, which stands for Buxton Next Generation. So let's bring Michelle in to the... Hey, there you are, girl. How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Halfway through the weekend.
Right? We're midway there. So when I think about good, I think about you. I mean, for the most part. I mean, we try to keep it positive here on Engagement.
You know it.
But you always, when people are volunteering or helping, or there's a community event, you're always there. Sleeves rolled up, tucked right in, doing the work and helping out. And you're very involved with an organization that we know down here as BNG, which is Buxton Next Generation. Now, for the folks who don't know, people hopefully are watching this all over the world. They don't know where Buxton is, or as we call it, North Buxton. So do you want to tell the fine folks where Buxton is?
Well, Buxton is in Chatham, Kent. It is located like right off the 401. If you blink when you drive through, you might miss it. So hopefully you don't, and hopefully you stop in and take a look around. It's a very historic community. It is one of the settlements formerly known as the Elgin Settlement on the Underground Railroad in southwestern Ontario. So we're happy to have people come and visit and stop in, and probably the most friendly place ever.
That's very true. That is, Buxton is an anomaly. I think it's very unique in its nature, and the people that inhabit it, people that have come from there, and their philosophies and their ways that happened a long time ago that still kind of carry on in this day and age of modern technology.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Buxton was a settlement for the Underground Road. It was one of the terminus of it, and there's a lot of great things that happen in Buxton. What we want to talk about today is what's called BNG. So we know that there was, and I'm probably going to get my hand slapped. Someone's going to call me and say, "Hey, Doug, you missed someone." There's a few people that are sort of the cornerstones then and now to Buxton and the settlement and what it's done. This one here, that's my Aunt Fern.
Aunt Fern.
Phenomenal woman.
Absolutely.
And another great pioneer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Mrs. Shatsky. Yep.
Absolutely. And of course,
our girl. Yes.
She is always busy, always doing something. And this one here.
Oh. Shut the front door.
These two are more now generation.
Yes.
I mean, some of the other ones as well, Betty being one of them.
Yeah.
But really handing the reins over to the next generation is what they've done. They've created it, they've forged a path, and then they've had you hold the reins, and then at some point you have the reins. You are in charge. You are leading this. And BNG, Bucks Next Generation, is
Mm-hmm.
really a catalyst, as I see it, for that kind of growth, for that kind of succession planning. Um, so tell me about BNG and a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for, some incredible people in our community, BNG wouldn't, exist. We've had phenomenal support from so many people in our community. And, we want to continue to build those legacies that were created before us. So I just want to say, shout out to everyone, Community Club, Sunshine Club, Women's Auxiliary, Church Club, the community board, the museum board, everybody in our community. So BNG started in 2003. We started as the North Buxton Youth Committee, and with a donation actually from my parents, which was pretty awesome too, $500. We were able to, with those proceeds, have the first party in the park and have the entertainment. That $500 went to provide entertainment for Party in the Park. So that was how Party in the Park started. 2011, we shifted over to what we now know as Buxton's Next Generation and created a board. And that's kind of how we started. We just really wanted kind of to have our voice as well as youth in the community and continue to create and build our community as a whole, and continue to create those legacies and build upon that. So that's how we started.
Very much young ambassadors doing some great work and transitioning to doing adult work, which is which is how we should handle things, right?
Absolutely.
This is how you maybe you don't teach them how to fix a car today, but you teach them how to maybe change a spark plug. And I don't talk mechanics much, but I do know what a spark plug is. I don't think they still have them in cars, but nonetheless, I know what that is.
Yeah.
So not a bad analogy. Good for me. You guys do a lot in the way of fundraising. Now, I've always been a big supporter of this, which is the Buxton Homecoming book.
Yes.
Sort of the I hate to call it the tabloid, but there's a lot of stuff in there.
There is a lot, and we just recently took over doing the book over the last couple of years. There were some great work before us that took this upon them, and we really want to recognize all the hard work that the folks before us put into the book. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been continuing. So, the book, it's a lot of work, and shout out to everybody that worked on it this year and years before, because man, I'll tell you, there's a lot of stuff in that thing.
It's a monster. So for those that don't know much about North Buxton, or Buxton as we sometimes call it, or Homecoming, which we referred to, explain what Homecoming is and sort of what time of year it happens and why, because this explains why the book is so important for people to collect it from year to year and hang on to it. It has incredible shelf life because people hang on to this book and they keep it in their archives.
Yeah. So Homecoming, we are going into 2023. We're going to be celebrating 100 years of Homecoming celebrations. So we're so excited for that. Homecoming is just an amazing event during Labor Day weekend in September. It's a way for families to get together, reunite with each other, continue to, meet and greet with new people. And, that's what we really want it to be and continue to be. What started out as a picnic under a pear tree on the Robbins farm, umpteen years ago, has turned into, an incredible weekend that we have huge support from our community, people that come and travel to come and be a part of it. It really is probably the biggest and the most, welcoming place to be. And, a lot of us, we say like, yeah, we were just born into planning. So yeah, we didn't really have an option, but, to be part of planning it and to be, an ancestor and a descendant of people that, started it is absolutely incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yep. All started with that tree.
That
Right.
tree, and it's still standing.
It's still
So if
there.
you drive by the museum, look to your right if you are going into Buxton, and you will see it right there in the middle of the field.
Yep. Yep. It is. So um, you don't do this alone. You have a lot of volunteers, and
Oh,
you guys do a lot of events.
yes.
Now, last week we talked to the gift, and when the gift came around, the very first time as the May 16th miracle, you guys, of course, stepped up to the charge and filled this
The cover.
caravan wagon full of stuff,
Yeah.
as Buxton does.
Yeah.
There's photos if you look on their website or on the Facebook page of long sticks reaching into the cars during COVID to pull out bags of stuff, and um, the the organization that happens at such a level in such a small community is phenomenal. That
Yeah.
everyone comes together, they do it for the greater good. They pitch in, they bring their tractors, they bring their trucks, whether they're collecting empties to raise money for the organization, whether they're selling the buttons to get into homecoming, whether they're selling ad space in the book. There's or chili cook-offs, or on and on and on. Right? There's
Yeah.
always something going on where BNG, along with all of their other partners, their family partners, making something happen in the small little hamlet, that we call North Buxton. So, talk about some of the events that you guys have coming. We'll talk about the one coming up in a minute. But tell me what you've
Yeah.
done in the past and where you're going for the future.
For sure. So, we certainly help organize homecoming with the other groups, community club, and the museum, and volunteers. It's fantastic. We, try to do every few months a bottle drive, collect empties over in the bin at Grandma's house. And that raises money to go towards things in the community that we need, or events. We've had breakfast with Santa. We do an Easter egg hunt, or in the past few years, due to COVID, we did Easter bunny visits. So we were going around to people's homes and, visiting with the Easter bunny. We try to, engage as many people in the community and outside of our community too, because we don't want to single anybody out. We want everyone to feel welcome. So, we just want to do as much as possible and, keep people coming to the community because it's so important. And, we have such a phenomenal group of BNGers that are just hands-on all the time. And, if it takes a village, man, it really takes a village.
Absolutely. You guys do make everyone feel welcome, and it's not uncommon, for a car to pull up and say, it's Monday and the museum's closed, but I've got questions. I came in from out of town, and the hospitality is always very welcoming, very warm, and always very wise. So you mentioned the Easter egg, Easter bunny.
Yeah.
Some of your volunteers out doing what they do, going door to door visiting.
Yeah.
Always great to see the effort and the energy that you guys put out. Whether it's Easter bunny or caroling in the wagon, which is always a fun Buxton thing to do, or Santa Claus who's coming to town, or there's a million things going on. I didn't put a picture of the of your bottle drive on here for a reason, because I know that you guys keep it all in a silo, and
Yes.
I don't want to tip off of your hiding spot. You do that how many times a year?
Yeah.
You do that 3 or 4 times a year.
Do it after like big, functions or events or different things, or people will just go, now it's great because people will just go and drop off their empties there and they just know it's there. So it's great.
Nice. And
we have a great
honest. You contribute to the fair amount.
So it's great.
And you contribute as well.
Yes. We all do. Some more than others, and that's okay. We'll take them.
Yeah. So you have some amazing volunteers.
Yes.
I'm going to say some award-winning volunteers because I saw this as well.
I don't look like that anymore.
None of us do, girl.
Yeah,
COVID,
we were honored. There was a group of us: Chris, Melanie, Rebecca, April, Heather, myself, that were honored to receive volunteer service awards. It was awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, it was
Nice.
great.
It's good to be recognized as a volunteer. We realize that, there's a rule that I think is very, very accurate, that 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the 20% that does a lot of things, I see you, I see your family, I see those stalwart volunteers that are always there to help, always there to pitch in. And it is important to have that 20% that does 80% of the work, because
Oh,
they make a difference at the other day.
it really
Um,
does.
so tell me about the your efforts. You guys raise money for something. Do you guys have a quest right now? Are you planning to raise for anything in particular, or?
Well, right now we are hoping to raise money for homecoming. It's a big celebration, our 100th year, so we really want it to be the biggest celebration possible because it's so well deserved. And our community works so hard all year round planning, and we want to be able to try to take some of that monetary onus off of everybody, because it is community based. It's community volunteers. It's community dollars that go into it. And, with some grants that we receive in the past, and hopefully we receive some more this year, that, we'll be able to help fund that. So we really just want to, make homecoming the most special and most memorable event for everyone that attends. So that's our goal, is to just really raise money for that. And we try to raise money. We have a bursary that we had a community member approach us, and they wanted to donate some money and start a bursary. So we matched it. Another group, the community club, they also matched it, and the North Buxton Church, they matched it as well. So we were able to provide some students with some funding this year, post-secondary or skilled trades. So that was probably the greatest thing ever, because we really want to support our youth. We really want to support everyone that's coming up after us, because once we get to that point, somebody's got to take it on. So
Very true, very true. And again, if BNG keeps doing what they're doing, your daughter Layla, who's also very involved in brought to volunteer, or voluntold, as we say,
No
she'll
choice.
fill your shoes, and so on and so on and so on. So that's awesome. I didn't know about the bursary. That's a great
Yeah. So,
doing.
if anybody wants to, donate to the bursary, we welcome that. It's an incredible experience to watch, the students succeed so well. And, it is expensive. It's college, skilled, everything is so expensive now. And, we can take a little bit of onus off of them having to, worry about paying for it. Then, we're happy to support it. So if anyone wants to donate to our bursary, that would be amazing.
Well, I mean, anyone that's been to an event should realize, and if you don't realize, I'm going to tell you now, that, when you have an event, they're not free.
No.
There's insurance to pay for, which is always a hard pill to swallow. You have, whether you're getting your volunteers properly outfitted for safety reasons, or for identification reasons, or the upfront costs that are required, or deposits. Events are not free.
No.
Events rarely make a lot of money. They make some money,
right?
And they're based on a participatory model. So people that come out to help out, to pay, to attend, all of that kind of thing. So there's always an opportunity for a sponsor, or a goodwill offering, or an individual anonymous donor, all those kind of things that can really help continue this along. Grants are always great, but grants this year are fewer and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And the grants, people don't realize, we don't have that many grants,
right?
And they're competitive to get them. They're not just a matter of, oh, we'd like some money, here's my bucket. No, you have to, apply, fit the criteria, and then hopefully there's enough money in that bucket that you get some of it. So if you're out there and you've got a little extra coin or time as well, there's a real value to sweat equity as well to get involved. There's a great opportunity there.
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So how many volunteers do you guys currently have? Do you know?
BNG ourselves as a committee, we have about 12 members. Volunteers, we have an abundance. Like we have, some really strong volunteers that come out every single time that we have something. And, whether they cook breakfast or they dress up in a costume or they collect something or they help us, drive the trailer to take back the empties. Like we have such amazing community support. We're so blessed and so lucky.
That's good. That's good. It does take a lot of people to make a village work. So you have an event coming up. I want to plug it while we can. And the Boo Bash. So that's coming up here. It's in North Buxton at the Community Hall. It's going to be on the 29th, Halloween weekend. I'm sure that everyone's going to want to dress up. And there is a costume contest, but my age group's not reflected there. So
just discussed today, we are going to have one for the adults too.
Oh, well, now you're talking.
Everyone should be able to participate. So
wow, I'll have to dig up my costumes from the past.
Can you go as Prince? Because that would be great.
Jokes. In our current climate, too many jokes. And I'm going to stand by that.
But yes, our Boo Bash, it's been a while since we've had one because, of obvious COVID reasons, but we're really excited to welcome everybody back to, an event that we're going to be able to host. And, the community hall is graciously enough to allow us to have it there, weather permitting. It was a little outside and going to be a little too cold. So they were awesome to be able to let us use the hall. So yeah, it's free. Pre-register if possible, because, we want to make sure we have enough treat bags and goodies for everybody and all of those things. So yeah, we're really excited to see all the kiddos in their costumes and do some crafts activities. And
awesome. I'm going to put that back up again because it is important. So it is 12 till 2. Lots going on. Treats and activities, and this really speaks to how funding helps. I mean, funding would help with those treat bags. Those treat bags are not free. No. You have to. Things cost, people. Things cost.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I mean, we have some great supporters, so we're happy to give back to, right?
So, can you tell me what you're going as for Halloween?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, well, I've gone Halloweening with you before, so you always, do it
something right. Good, I'm sure.
Yeah. So excellent. Any last minute plugs or suggestions or things you want to bring up about what you guys are doing?
We're really, so excited to keep going in our community, and we are just so lucky to have such awesome supporters, and everybody that comes out to events and volunteers their time. We really appreciate it more than you could ever imagine. All of the crew, BNG crew, you guys are so awesome, and it really does take a village. We give up a lot of time, but it's totally worth it for the community. Our kids give up a lot of time. So, but you know what? It's continuing, those legacies. We want to be able to just keep it going, keep volunteerism happening in our community, because we were brought up, to volunteer too. So it's really just
very true.
An awesome feeling. And if you want to join BNG,
how do we do that?
Anybody, absolutely.
So tell the fine folks how to either volunteer, get involved, or give money.
Come on out to a meeting. Follow our Facebook page, Buxton's Next Generation. If you want to email us, buxtonsng@gmail.com. You can, message us, direct message on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Yeah, just come on out to a meeting if you want to join us, or if you want to see what we're about. And, we really want to have a great time, giving back to our community and doing as much as possible. And, it takes many hands make light work. So that's it right there.
We did not plan that, folks. That was full circle there. That was just, perfect. Excellent. So as we fade out, I really felt important that we give a little nod to someone that we call Aunt. Um,
Yeah.
and she was known for loving baseball, handing out licorice,
Oh, yeah. Everybody knew.
singing. She ran every choir there was, the men's Buxton choir. She ran the youth choir. Uh, she we would go around caroling on that big wagon, the big chuck wagon, at Christmas time to shut-ins, and we would sing. And one year, and only one year, she came on when I was on there and ridiculed our singing.
Singing. So bad. You guys are off too.
So bad. Ridiculed it. But we love her dearly. She's recently passed, and she's was very involved and very much a trailblazer. So as we bid you an adieu, I'll leave you with this.
Oh, Aunt Cleats. The best.
So thank you everyone for coming to engagement, and we'll talk to you the next time we see you. Take
Thanks,
care.